All right, let's talk about a company that's been making some serious waves, Palantir Technologies. You know, it sits right at this wild intersection of big data, AI, and national security. It's easily one of the most debated stocks out there, and what it's done recently, well, it's been pretty staggering. Okay, let's just jump right into the big number, the reason we're all here. In just 1 year, from April 2023 to April 2024, Palantir's stock went up over 200%. I mean, it nearly tripled in value. A move like that, in that short a time, it doesn't just turn heads, it basically demands an explanation. So you see a chart like that, and you've got to ask, what in the world is going on here? What's fueling this kind of explosive growth? Is this just another hype train, or is there something really fundamental happening under the hood that justifies this incredible run? That's exactly what we're going to unpack. To really get to the bottom of this, we've kind of boiled it down to four key growth engines. You can think of these as the main forces that have been pushing this company and its stock to whole new levels. So here they are. First, and this is a big one, it's perfect timing with the AI boom. Second, it's deep, deep roots with the government, what we're calling its government muscle. Third, a really aggressive push into the private sector, its commercial expansion. And fourth, you've just got pure market momentum, which has a life of its own. Let's break each of these down. So first up, the AI boom. Look, Palantir rolled out its artificial intelligence platform, or AIP, and the timing could not have been better. And this quote from their CTO just says it all, taking a process that used to be 8 weeks of complex data work and crushing it down to just 8 hours. And the key here isn't just speed. It's that AIP lets big companies build their own AI tools on top of their own private, sensitive data. For investors, that's a huge, huge deal. Next engine, that government muscle. This has always been Palantir's bread and butter, and we are talking about mind-boggling scale here. For instance, a potential $10 billion deal with the U.S. Army spread out over 10 years. These aren't just one-and-done deals. They are deeply woven into the fabric of these agencies, giving Palantir a super stable, predictable revenue base. But, you know, relying only on government money can be risky. And that brings us to engine number 3, their big push into the commercial world. They're taking those same powerful data tools and aiming them at corporations. Think manufacturing, healthcare, you name it. This move is all about diversifying their income and just massively expanding the potential market for their tech. And finally, there's just good old market momentum. This is a perfect example. The moment it was announced Palantir was being added to the S&P 500 index, the stock shot up 14% in one day. Why? Well, because trillions of dollars in funds are designed to just automatically track that index. So when a new stock is added, they have to buy it. It creates this huge instant wave of demand. Okay, so now we know why the stock has been on such a tear, but to really get Palantir, you have to rewind the clock and look at where they came from. It's a pretty fascinating journey from secretive spy tech to a major player in big tech. And the name itself is just a fantastic clue. Palantir is named after the Palantiri, the seeing stones from The Lord of the Rings. And the analogy is just perfect, right? Their whole mission is to give their clients the power to see through these huge, messy piles of data to find the one piece of truth that matters. And if you trace their timeline, you can really see those deep intelligence roots. It was founded way back in 2003, and get this, with seed money from the CIA's own venture capital firm. They spent over a decade honing their tech in some of the highest stakes environments imaginable before finally going public in 2020. And then a huge moment in 2023, they hit their first full year of operating profit, which really signaled to the market that they were entering a new phase of maturity. So at its heart, you can really think of Palantir as living in two different worlds. You have Gotham, that's the original platform, the one that was battle-tested by governments, defense agencies, and spies. Then you have Foundry, which is its powerful twin built for the corporate world, helping huge businesses make sense of their own data to make better decisions. Okay, so we've got the growth story, we've got the origin story. But let's be real, no company, especially one that's run up this much, comes without risk. And this brings us right to the heart of the debate, the incredible hype versus some very, very real high stakes. What's so interesting is that the bull case and the bear case are almost perfect mirror images of each other. The bulls, they absolutely love those sticky, multi-year government deals and how the company is perfectly positioned for the AI boom. But the bears, they look at that same government reliance and see a huge concentration risk. They also point to a sky-high stock price that basically assumes everything will go perfectly. and they worry about growing competition. So, with that whole debate swirling around, what should you actually be watching for? What are the key signals that are going to tell us whether the bulls or the bears are going to be right about this thing? So, for the bullish argument to keep winning, you'd want to see a few key things happen. Definitely more of those massive government contracts. You'd want to see their commercial business growth speed up, not slow down. But maybe the most important thing to watch is how quickly companies are adopting their new AI platform. If those things fire on all cylinders, the stock could have more room to run. Now, on the flip side, what are the potential storm clouds? Well, any whisper of government budget cuts could really hurt. If that commercial growth starts to sputter, the whole diversification story kind of falls apart. And there is always the risk that the broader market just wakes up one day and decides its current valuation is just way too high, and that could trigger a pretty nasty correction. And all of this brings us right back to the central, multi-billion-dollar question for anyone looking at Palantir. Is what we're seeing the foundation of a truly sustainable tech giant, sitting at this critical crossroads of AI, data, and defense? Or is it a fantastic story stock whose price has just gotten way ahead of itself? How they execute over the next year or so is really going to tell us the answer.